I ruined my best friend's wedding and broke up her marriage. And here is the entire story that I've never ever spoken about before in my life, but I guess there's a first time for everything. So I guess this all just starts with the fact that I am a certain type of content creator. I have been for many years on this certain platform that I'm also actually the CEO of. And for years I have had a really big fan on there. He's followed me ever since the beginning that I've started doing this, has always been a generous person and kind of weirdly so, almost in excess. And I never thought too much of it, just always was very grateful and appreciative of this, and just kind of left it at that. This person had just a very generic username, and I never suspected that it was somebody that I knew in real life, although when you are in this line of work, you do always feel like, there might be people on here that do know me in real life. It's one of the risks of doing this type of work. So anyway, I'm in my mid-20s. Me and my best friend, my childhood best friend that I've literally known for 2 decades almost, is getting married to her high school sweetheart. And I know this guy, literally went to high school with this guy, know this guy, not a huge fan, he's kind of toxic, but she's in love with him, she's getting married to him. And I'm in the wedding party, I'm excited about it, I'm helping her plan the wedding, and something really creepy happens to me during the planning of the wedding. So I have an Amazon wish list. People are buying things for me, and I end up getting a package sent to my home. And obviously I'm very excited, but much to my surprise, when I open the package, it's something that I really love, but it's not something that was on my Amazon wish list. It's something that has a note written to me, a love note from a fan, and it's addressed from my fan on my fan page, and it has my address on it, but it's not from my Amazon wish list. It's just the person who sent it knew my address, and it indicates that the fan on my fan page knew where I lived. So I immediately start panicking and thinking, okay, this person who's following me, who is spending all this money. Okay, part 2.
Bullshit that happened to me this morning taught me why some people become bridezilla. I'm not a bridezilla about things being perfect for me because I've never really cared about a wedding, but what I am is a good host. You come to my house, there's charcuterie out. I'm throwing a party. Dress fucks up, whatever. If my hair and makeup isn't perfect, I don't care. If the music is bad, if the food is shit, and if things are slow, I'll never forgive myself. So in February, when people were like, oh, what are you doing for your dress? What are you doing this? All I wanted to do was lock in my wedding band. Hire a planner. She can do the rest because I honestly don't give a fuck. Get all my Instagram followers to send me all their favorite wedding bands. I go through literally 100 of them. I narrow it down to 5. I message all 5, but there was one that was my favorite. I DM them on Instagram and I'm like, hey, do you guys do weddings? And they're like, yeah, we actually do, but you have to go through our manager. No problem. The manager, and immediately I'm kind of like, this is a kid. Which is fine. I don't care. This is one of their friends. That's what it seemed like to me. He quotes me, it's higher than any other wedding band, any professional wedding band, and these guys are not a professional wedding band, for 2 45-minute sets. I ask him if he can do 3 30-minute sets because I'm getting married New Year's Eve and I'm going to need a band to play after the ball. He goes, oh, the band doesn't usually like doing that because we like to get the energy up. And I'm like, okay, well, I like my wedding to be a certain way. So if you guys don't want to play a wedding, no problem. I will hire someone else. But if I'm hiring you to do my event, it's possible for the same amount of time to be allotted into 3 sets. I'd appreciate that. He goes, actually, yeah, we can totally do that. And we'll throw in some bonus music at the beginning, like cocktail music. I'm like, okay, sick. You being all over the place is playing to my advantage in this moment. Sends me a contract. Last day that either of us can pull out of this is June 1st. And on June 1st, I owe him a deposit. So June 1st comes and goes. I'm not sweating about my wedding band. They have been locked through my documents and stuff and realized, oh shit, I didn't send them the deposit. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't send them the deposit because I don't know where to send it to, because they didn't message me June 1st or invoice me or anything. So I emailed the manager and I'm like, hey man, I think I owe you some money. No response. Email the band. I'm like, hey guys, can't get in touch with your manager. I think I owe you some money. They read it on Instagram. It's the dry ass email the manager sends me this morning. Good morning. I'm sorry to inform you that we won't be able to play your wedding in the end. We'll be outside the country, Australia. Which, by the way, no one ever told, he didn't say we might not be there. I don't know what this in the end, we were talking before, in the end it won't work is about. But anyway, and I'd hope to be back the 31st 1st, but some issues arise and it won't be possible. I'm terribly sorry about this news and wish you a wonderful wedding. And you know what irks me? If I didn't message you because I realized that I didn't pay you, when were you gonna fucking email me? How long after June 1st, when I thought this was on lock, would you have emailed me in fucking September? Now, I'm not gonna drop the manager's name or the band's name because I really don't think this is the band's fault, but I will say, if you wanna know, DM me on Instagram and I'll fucking tell you, because this is what happens when you're careless with your customers. You might just get a bad review, and that person that's giving you a bad review might just have 500,000 followers on TikTok. These are the consequences you have to deal with if you're gonna act up. For the fucking price they were charging me? Please. You should have sent me that email June 1st, top of the fucking morning. But anyway, stay nuts, girls. Stay nuts. That's all I can tell you.
Guys, I just want to tell you, because everyone was so nice in the comments of that video, nothing worked out. The wedding, like, it just didn't work out. And I spent the entire wedding day praying it would be over. I'll never get my wedding day back. I'll never get anything like that again. And basically what happened is, like, my fiance was really sick. He didn't know what he had. We thought he had a cold. It's not his fault. It doesn't matter. It turns out he had strep. So, like, it's a pretty big thing. And I started to get really sick on Friday before. I was doing everything I could. The whole week I was taking wellness formula. I was drinking water, electrolytes. Like, I was doing what I could, basically. But on Friday, I knew it was downhill. Like, I left my rehearsal dinner early. I wasn't social. Like, I didn't drink. And then on my actual wedding day, I had no energy. Like, so weak. I had fevers. I was shaking. I was hot and cold. And I couldn't really, like, tell anyone because I didn't want anyone to feel bad. Like, I couldn't breathe. Like, I felt, like, horrible. And I blamed my wedding dress. So I took off my wedding dress and I put on a sundress at my own wedding. Like, I took off my beautiful gown because I was trying to do anything I could to, like, feel better, make anything feel better, and nothing was working, but I had to pretend it was. Like, oh, thank you so much. Like, yeah, I feel better, but I didn't. And I danced and I smiled and I did the pictures and videos that I could, but, like, I just don't know what to do. It's been over a week. I thought this pain would be gone by now. I just had an even bigger cry, but I want to say I'm trying what I can to just remember the good parts, because there were so many beautiful parts of the wedding. Like, it was amazing. It was a fairy tale. It was my dream. Like, it was my dream, and I can't wait to share it, like, with you and see the memories myself. Like, I haven't even seen all the videos or anything, but I'm just trying to remember the good parts. What I'm trying to say is I just want the bad ones to be gone. So if you can think of any way to just make the bad ones gone and keep the good ones, that would be great. Love you.
Part 2 of the craziest and most expensive wedding I have ever been in. Recap, I showed her the wedding dress I would have loved to have. She mocked me for it and then bought it right from under me. I said nothing. I was really close to her, like, fiance at that time before I had been close to her, and so I was just excited for them. She starts talking to me about the date, and she's like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what date we should have. And she asks me, like, do you have a date in mind? Because, again, my boyfriend and I were talking pretty seriously about getting married. I mentioned that June either 21st or 22nd was probably going to be our date. I've always wanted to get married in June because of 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, and June 21st, 22nd is when we started dating when we were in high school together, and I just thought that would be really sweet. Again, she kind of mocks the decision and says, oh wow, yeah, I would never want to get married in June. Just, I feel like it'll be too hot, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I totally understand. You should pick whatever date you feel most comfortable with. We get our invites, and lo and behold, June 22nd. Again, super weird, and I don't know how to stick up for myself, so I was just like, okay, this is great. The dresses she wanted us all to buy, like, I don't mind paying for my own bridesmaid dress because they were more expensive than pretty much any other bridesmaid's dress I've ever bought. And they were giving everybody rashes, which her future sister-in-laws mentioned, like, hey, this might not be the greatest thing, like, we've tried it on and gave us a rash. She doesn't budge and said it's fine, everyone still get them. I've never minded. I've worn a lot of really ugly bridesmaids dresses and I don't care because it's not my day, whatever. This one definitely hurt and it was definitely bad. So then I just asked her about hair and makeup and, like, what, you know, if she has an idea for, like, hair or if she cares, whatever. She literally said, I want everyone to have their hair up because I want to have the prettiest hair on my wedding day. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's okay. But she kept harping on that, like she didn't want anyone to look beautiful on her wedding day, and I was like, okay. Then the bridal shower comes around and she sends out this message to all of us saying, guys, I really don't understand why you haven't pitched in for this. I was like, oh, I didn't know we were supposed to. She created this whole sob story where she was having to pay for everything herself, and we're like, oh my gosh, yeah, of course, like, we'll do whatever we can. Come to find out, her in-laws paid for the whole thing. They like threw her this amazing bridal shower, paid for all the food, all the decorations, all of the favors, all of the games, all of it. And I was like, I'm so confused why we like pitched in for this. So then she sends out another message saying like, guys, I'm having to pay for all of the wedding stuff myself. I can't afford any of it. By this point, I'm wising up and I'm like, and also I'm running out of money. So I was like, hey, like, I'm so sorry. I don't have anything more I can give you. She was pissed, but like, I didn't know what else to do. Found out later she used all that money to just go on a little mini shopping spree for herself. And I'm so sorry to do this again, but I have to do a part 3.
This is your sign to get in contact with your wedding suppliers before your wedding, just to make sure that all your information is correct, as I've had a little bit of wedding drama and it's so that this doesn't happen to you. So basically I sent out an email to all my wedding suppliers as I get married next month, just to make sure that everything was fine to go ahead and that I knew all the information that I needed to know for them being there. So then I got an email back from my band saying, yes Emma, everything's fine, we'll be there from 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock. Do you have a DJ for afterwards? And this is when my heart sank a little bit, because I knew that we had already pre-discussed that they would be staying to DJ for us. So when he said that, I got a bit of a shock and I was like, what do you mean? So basically, to cut a long story short, I had used a company called Encore, which is where it's like a third-party website. You put in all your details that you need, and then they'll give you a list of bands. It could be photographers, it could be all different wedding suppliers, and it's just an easier way to pick one that's suitable for you. So all our communications were through this Encore website, and as far as the band was concerned, they didn't have any of the messages that were sent through between myself and them. So when I got back to them and I said, no, we had already pre-discussed that you were going to be staying to DJ for us, blah blah blah, he said, well actually that's an extra cost and the other band members aren't aware of this, so there's a high chance that that can't happen. This is when I really panicked and I thought, crap, what am I going to do? I'm 1 month before my wedding, I don't have a DJ, I don't want my band just packing up halfway through the night. So luckily on my end, I still had the conversation that we had, so basically I was able to screenshot that to him, which I feel a bit of a bitch doing that, like I'm right and you're wrong, but needs must. I had already paid the deposit and it was clear that I had already paid that extra money and we had discussed that they would be staying, blah blah blah. So the main band member, he gave me a call and he was so nice, he was so apologetic. I think he just thought, shit, I've stressed out this poor woman, I'm 1 month before her big day. And basically he reassured me that there was nothing to worry about, that they would be there from the time that we had agreed, and again he was really apologetic. But this did make me think, if I hadn't emailed, what would have happened? He did say that if that happened, we hadn't spoke beforehand, of course he would have stayed and blah 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 blah, but at the same time you don't want on your wedding day to you be pulling out receipts and emails and going, no but I said that you'd be here and you said this and you said that. So basically if you're getting married, reach out to your wedding suppliers just before. So luckily the crisis was averted, it is sorted out now, which I'm really glad about, because it's something else that I don't have to worry about. But if you're getting married soon, definitely check in with your wedding suppliers. It's not worth the hassle of not knowing what's going on.
What this woman did to her husbands was pure evil. In the early 1900s, there was a woman named Mississippi who lived in western Florida. In 1909, she married her first husband, a man named Cucumber, at an old mansion. But that night, after all the guests had left, it was the last time anyone ever saw Q. Over the next few years, Missy remarried 10 more times, and strangely enough, each husband vanished without a trace, all after getting married at the same venue. By 1917, Missy had become a millionaire, inheriting the fortunes of her missing spouses. But in 1918, she met a man named Sal Manella, who quickly proposed to her. Their wedding went off without a hitch, but that night things took a dark turn. Missy invited Sal to play a game by the pond behind the venue. She blindfolded him, tied weights to his legs, and before he could react, she tossed him into the water. But Missy didn't know that Sal would survive. He managed to break free and escape through the woods. Hours later, Sal reached the police, who immediately rushed to the mansion. That night, they arrested Missy, but it took over an hour and a dozen officers to finally subdue her. The next morning, the authorities drained the pond, and what they found at the bottom was horrifying.